Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary, and today's video is going to be another reading vlog. So, it's kind of gloomy outside, but it's Tuesday, and I'm on spring break, so I'm feeling good. I did have work today, which was fine, and then I just got back from the grocery store, but I wanted to go ahead and introduce this vlog. I also went to the library and got one of the books that I'm going to be reading for this vlog. This vlog is going to be hopefully part of like a series of vlogs that I want to do kind of all year, where I go on Goodreads and look at books that are recommended based on my 2021 favorites, and then read some of the recommended books because I want to find more favorites. So if you have not yet seen my 2021 favorites, at this point it's a couple months old, but I will link it for you if you want to watch it. And in that video I talk more in depth about all of my favorites from the year, but one of the books that took me by surprise that I really ended up loving was Emma by Jane Austen. And so I went on Goodreads to Emma's page, and Goodreads has a little section that's like readers also enjoyed or whatever. On the Emma page, the readers also enjoyed section includes Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, which I've actually already read, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which I'm planning on reading for this vlog, and Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, which I'm also planning on reading for this vlog. So I'm really excited about this. I came up with this idea because I actually already had Jane Eyre on my TBR for the month. This is, for the prompt, a book involving ghosts, because I think either there are ghosts in this, Jane can see ghosts, or Jane thinks she sees ghosts or something. I don't know that much about this. I know that I've seen the movie, but I remember watching the movie and not really getting it because I wasn't like fully paying attention, and I just don't really know anything about the story. I've also read The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, which is a retelling of this, but I think it ends differently. I'm not entirely sure. And then Little Women, I'm super familiar with. I'm going to try to get an audiobook of this because it is a big chunky book. Although, it's like short compared to this and like narrow, if you can see. Hold on. It's like more narrow and shorter than like a normal book. And also, the text is like, I guess it's normal size. It looks kind of large to me. It's not large print by any means, but it looks a little big. So, regardless, I'm gonna try to get an audiobook of this because I am familiar with the story, so I think listening to an audiobook won't be that difficult. I've seen the old movie a ton of times, and I actually read an abridged version of this for school in junior high. So we're gonna read this bad boy. And I'm really excited about this. This has been one that I've been thinking that I would really enjoy, and my library has the cutest copy of it. Like, look at the inside pages too. So cute. Very excited. So I have not yet started either of these. This has been on my Goodreads currently reading page for like 2 weeks at this point, but I have not yet actually started reading it. But I'm gonna read these and I will check in with you when I have updates on them. Come on, boys. Hello friends, so it's the next day and I've managed to listen to just over half of Little Women, and I realized that I never explained to you what it's about, so I'm gonna do that now. So, I've moved you down so I don't have to hold you up and you're not all shaky. But essentially, if you don't already know, Little Women is about the March sisters, and we open up and it's Christmas. They live in the northern United States, I think in like Massachusetts, but don't quote me on that. And it's during the Civil War. So that's like the 1860s. And they're four sisters. The oldest is Meg, then Jo, Beth, and Amy. They each have like their own little quirks. So like Meg is the oldest and really into propriety, and she's at the age where she's like out or should be going out or coming out, I guess. But her family is on the poorer side, so she doesn't really get like a coming out ball or anything. Jo is very much a tomboy. She's really into like her boyish things. Amy is kind of spoiled, but also she's just very much a youngest child. I've always related to Amy a lot because I'm also the youngest of four, and she has this big, like, don't leave me behind, wants to grow up really fast vibe to her, which, again, as the youngest of four, is relatable to me. And then Beth is just, like, very sweet, very demure, very shy, really into music, and also very sickly throughout the whole story, but she's also the one she, like, really inspires the other girls to be, like, better people, kind of, which is really interesting. I, again, already know what's going to happen in this book entirely, so, because I've seen the movie a bunch, and I'm just, like, super familiar with the story already, but I am really enjoying reading it, or listening to it, because I do have it as an audiobook, and it's like a really easy writing style to read, especially for a classic, I feel. So, I think part of that is because it's, like, or I think that is part of the reason it's, like, commonly read by like middle grade to high school students. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I thought I would like it, and I really am liking it. There's also this character of a neighbor boy named Laurie, who I always just think of the Christian Bale version in the old movie, but I think Timothée Chalamet plays him in the new movie, which is interesting. But I love Laurie personally. He's like the grandson of this really wealthy guy who's the neighbor of the Marches, and he becomes primarily Joe's friend, but really he's a friend to all of the March sisters. I know some people have some like issues with the way his relationships develop. I'm not going to spoil them here. I have no qualms with him. I think he's a great love interest. Again, I haven't gotten to that part of the book yet, but I think he's great. And I think his character accomplishes what it was meant to accomplish. So those are my thoughts on Little Women so far. I will update you when I finish it, and I will also hopefully at some point finish reading Jane Eyre. I have not yet started it, but I don't know if I mentioned, I'm taking the MPRE this week, which is like an ethics exam for attorneys. I have to take it before I get to take the bar. So I'm doing that tomorrow. I've been studying for that all week. That's what I've been spending most of my spring break doing. It's also freaking cold today. It's been raining pretty much all week, and it's like 40 degrees out, which is not as cold as it gets here, but like it's cold considering it was 70 degrees over the weekend. So I will update you when I have an update, but just thought I'd put that out there. Oh, I mentioned that because I think I'll actually be able to physically read at the end of this week, whereas I was not able to at the beginning of this week because I've been studying. And so I've been able to listen to my audiobook when I'm doing things that don't require like reading. But anyways, also my graduation robes came in. So I thought I would do a little try on for you. So I'm just gonna unbox this. You might not care about this, but as I have spent the last 3 years of my life attempting to get to this point, even longer if you really think about like LSAT prep, taking the LSAT, applying to schools, I am very excited, as I'm sure you can imagine, to no longer be a student after this semester. So, woohoo! Very exciting. Here are the bundles. Oop, I dropped something. Lots of blue and black. Not sure why, but here we go. Ooh, it's velvet and purple. All right. This is my hood. Okay. This is the robe. Nice. And then I have the funny little hat thing. I should have a tassel in here somewhere, I think. I hope I didn't have to buy that separately because I did not purchase it. If I do, I'll figure it out. Obviously, I wouldn't wear it with this sweatshirt on underneath it, but hey, hey! I think like this. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure it out and I will let you know, but I have to go grocery shopping because my ride is here.
Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code now to download.
All right, it's been a while since I've updated you, so I wanted to go ahead and give you the quick rundown of where things are for this vlog. I did finish Little Women, and I gave this one 5 stars. I loved this book. It's one of those, okay, so I mentioned that I've seen the movie a bunch, and I've like grown up with this story. So because of that, I feel like it didn't feel like I was reading something new. It felt like a reread the whole time, which I didn't hate, obviously. I loved this. But for that reason, I don't anticipate this being in my like yearly favorites, but I do think this is a classic that I will come back to. And because of how simple it is, I feel like this would be a good like bedtime story for a kid or something. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you disagree with that, but I really enjoyed this one. I love that story. And I wanted to let you know how I'm doing with Jane Eyre. So this is actually in the wrong spot. I've been listening to this as an audiobook, which I know I said I wasn't going to do, but I started reading it physically. And then I started listening to the audiobook while I read. And now I've just been listening to the audiobook as I do other things. And I'm not finding it hard to follow at all. So that's great. This, I don't think I've ever explained what it's about. But if you don't know, this is about a girl named Jane Eyre who is orphaned as a baby, and she goes and lives with her uncle and his wife, and then her uncle passes away, and the wife agreed to take care of her, but she's really mean to her, and her cousins are really mean to her, and then she eventually gets sent away to this boarding school, and when she's there, she finally gets like kindness for the first time, and she's there for about 8 years, and then she goes to be a governess in this man, Mr. Rochester's house. He is he's not the father of this kid. It's a little girl named Adele, but he knew her mother, and so he's taking care of her. And then it's supposed to be a love story between him and Jane. And while I do think that that's what it is, it's also not. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want to spoil it, obviously. I knew what happened in this book before I read it, so maybe that's what's preventing it from being, groundbreaking. But I am enjoying it. It's like a 3.5, I would say, at this point. So however it goes will determine whether or not it is a 4 or bumped down to a 3. But I'm shocked at how soon what I thought was going to be the big reveal happens. So I'm curious about the fallout from that and what's going to happen now. I'm about 60% of the way in this, I don't think I said, which is probably over here. That's about 50%, so I'm probably even farther than that. But like I said, I've just been listening to it as an audiobook. I think I'm going to try to finish this today. But I don't know, because I'm kind of in the mood to read physically. And since I have an audiobook of this, I don't know if I want to read physically. So I might end up reading something else. But I will, regardless, finish this before the end of the month. And I will come back and let you know how I ultimately feel about this one. But so far, I think this experiment is going pretty well. I'm really again, I loved Little Women. So I'm really glad that I finally read that. And I'm enjoying Jane Eyre. So I'm going to edit Thursday's video now. It's my TBR game, so it should be up before this. I have no idea when this vlog is going to go up, by the way. I had scheduled for it to go up at a time, and then I realized that another vlog I was going to do had to be divided into 2 parts, which that's already up. It's my Pretty Little Liars reading vlog, so I'll link that for you. Part 1, so you can watch that and then watch part 2, but that video was going to be 2.5 hours long, and so I decided to cut it in half. And because of that, this has been pushed. So I don't know when this is going to go up because I don't have another slot for it, but I'm going to have to make another slot, which means I'm going to have to push another video. I hope you follow. I know you don't really care, but I just thought I would let you know. So I will update you when I have an update. I'm sorry, did I wake you? Hi friends, it's been a couple days since I finished Jane Eyre, and I realized I never gave a final update. So I did end up giving it 4 stars. I liked it a lot more than I was liking it last time I updated you. And it's one of those books. Sorry, let me scooch around. It's definitely one of those books that I feel like if I were to reread it, I would even enjoy it more, if that makes sense, because I would know what to expect from it. I did think it got a little slow. So there's a really big reveal that is the reveal of the book, I think. I already knew what it was going to be. So I wasn't shocked. But that happens just over 60% of the way through. And then there's a really long lull in the action where I understand why it happened the way that it did. Some things needed to come together. And I wound up really enjoying the conclusion of it more for the time spent on that little detour. If you have read the book, you know what I'm talking about, but I obviously don't want to spoil it. But I did get almost bored during those parts, but I ended up really feeling the romance a lot more than I thought that I would. I think I even said at one point in this vlog that I didn't really feel like it was that romantic, but I ended up feeling the romance a lot more. So this, I think, was a successful little experiment. I do plan on continuing this experiment throughout the year and reading books that are considered similar to or that are on the Goodreads page for the readers also liked section for other books that were my favorites from last year. because yeah, I liked both of these books, and I definitely would recommend them. And honestly, I would definitely reread both of them. So success, all in all, I will say. I feel very pleased with the way this went. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you would like to, because I do post 2 videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!